Alright, now for an update. It's been a long winter. Of course, the cruise is over with. But since I decided I'm going to start doing this maybe a little bit more, taking you guys with me, you know, GoPro camera, I decided to upgrade on the microphone. Well, you see the GoPro here, got this little GoPro clip-in on thing, goes into the case for the Hero 4 here. That way, you know, get the, hopefully the knocking noise, like when I'm kayaking and bump the kayak, it likes to resonate up through into the case, and it's kind of annoying. And I'm hoping you guys can hear me better. I don't have to crank the volume so much. But if you look on the Nikon there, I got a remote microphone on that too. One thing that's annoying with this Nikon, I don't know if all the 35mm DSL cameras, but when the lens focuses, makes an annoying clicking noise. I'm kind of hoping to get rid of that by relocating the microphone up off to the side there. I tried it on top of the camera and you could still hear the lens focusing noise, but I think setting it up off the side there will help. But what we got going on here in the car, we'll carry on, is here, let me grab you and show you. See here, got the intake, focus. All right, as you see what I got going on here, I'm missing my intake. I got the intakes over to the friend of mine who's going to be doing some welding, both sides here. Get down in there, there's the other end. Bring the light over. My dirty intake ports, there they are. That ground wire usually bolts onto the stud, doesn't go into the intake port. But yeah, that's in the process. Probably have to give him a call to bug him a little bit. Dropped those off a couple weeks ago. The guy that does it's a friend of mine. He's very, very busy. So I don't want to rush him too much. But yeah, I'm going to have to give him a call to see where he's at on those, because I want to get it put back together and start it up before I move on to the next little thing I want to do this winter with the engine compartment. But I'm going to take you guys up front over here and show you what I got going on up here. Okay, well, we're back at the bench here, and I got something neat to show you. This wheel. Some of you guys probably with the earlier cars would recognize this. This is a accelerator pedal. Well, actually, an accelerator wheel. The old early cars, I pretty much believe most of them came with these. It's even stamped VW on there. Check that out. But yeah, it's actually surprisingly using your foot rolling on it. Rolls really nice and easy. It's actually extremely comfortable. But what I'm having trouble with, here, give you guys a closer look at it. See how the camera focuses. And we'll see how the microphones pick up the furnace. See if it's worse than before or not now. But yeah, here, let's go into the car here. Grab the light. And then what I've been working on here is this here's the accelerator lever. The wheel would ride on this, but with the throttle body that I'm using now, I never really got good throw with it. And I got a heavy spring on there right now. As you can see, get around the brake pedal, it goes all the way up and touches the firewall. And I pretty much got it adjusted now to where the throttle plate is about 98, 95, somewhere around in there, open. Before, I don't think it was getting that much. But I'll tell you what I wound up doing here is drilling a second hole there in the top. This hole, and I'll tell you what, this is some good steel. I don't know what Volkswagen used back in the day, but I had trouble drilling through there. I went through 3 little tiny drill bits before I finally got a hole through there, and then wound up finally breaking through, and then using bigger bits to get it to the size I needed. It was a bugger. It took me about an hour and a half. Slowly drilling, because I did it right here in the car with the pedals and everything right here, and squeezing right in the door frame here, and between the seat, with my arm upside down with running the drill bit. It was a challenge, but I eventually won. And one of the things I'm gonna want to probably think about upgrading, I don't know how hard it is going to be to find new pads, but you can see this one's pretty well worn. And then I don't even have a pad on the clutch pedal here, but when my feet get wet, yeah, they get slippery on here. Not so bad when you're driving around town, but when you're trying to drag race and stuff, you usually don't drag race when it's wet out, but in the grass and the dew in the morning, boy, I tell you, it can be a challenge. Alright guys, yeah, I gotta get some work done on the accelerator pedal and hopefully get this wheel to work. I got some steel rod. I'm gonna try to make a little bracket and make it comfortable. If not, I may have to look into maybe trying to find a stock accelerator pedal I could put in the later model cars. They kind of had a little roller thing on there too, but it was on the back side of the pedal. You'd have to flip the pedal over in order to see it. But yeah, I'm gonna let me know what the audio sounds like on this, or what the audio sounds like on that. See which one sounds better. I'm doing a test here. Don't know which one to go yet. I don't know if I can hear the clicking on the camera. I can see the lenses focusing in and out, and I don't know, hopefully I'm not going blurry and focus. Maybe I look better blurry. But yeah, until next time, I'll catch you later. Yeah, I know you guys are probably getting sick and tired to see my dirty floorboard, but I had to point out one more thing I did here. I actually just turned the wheel around and see that the focus is good. There we go. You can see that the wheel is higher on this side than this side. It was rubbing a little bit on the arm. Duh. So I spun it around. So let's take a look. See if you guys see the throttle plate there. Set here. And let's see how this thing opens and closes. Okay, you can see what kind of monkey operation I got going on here. Bam! Stuck these two groove bearings in here, and that's what the throttle cable rides on. I was originally running just the one. It was in the kind of in that back location, but I noticed the throttle cable was rubbing on the intake manifold, and eventually it's going to cause a hole. I've seen some bearing for the back here where it comes through the shroud. I'm still running the stock cable and location and everything. I've seen people pull a little bearing down in that area too to keep it from rubbing on the side of the tube that goes through there. Stay focused, there we go. Looks like mine's coming fairly straight out of there. I may look into building one of those in the future. But right now it seems to rotate pretty smoothly. And one of the other things I addressed, well, there we are, is the throttle stop. This is a throttle body off like a 2002 Malibu, and it didn't have a traditional, like, I don't think it had a traditional throttle stop. I don't remember. It's been so long since I put it on the car, maybe 3 years ago. I am over the age of 50, so my memory kind of slides every now and then. But I had it facing the other way with the screw on this side, and it was a pain in the butt to adjust. So I actually spun it around and kind of put a spring on the other side, and kind of like the traditional Webers have. Most of the carburetors I've seen. We'll hope that stays in spot. I was experiencing high idle speeds. The car heat up, it idle a little higher. The throttle cable would stick just a little bit so it wouldn't return. As you can see, I got my, I'm probably still gonna maybe think about redoing the spring. We'll see how it works right now. You think of that spring on the throttle body would be good enough to hold it back, but I don't know. Maybe maybe if I come up with a different plan. I gotta try this out first. It's all trial and error with me. Try to keep it at a reasonable budget. I am noticing, focus in there. Looks like I've got a frayed wire here. It's probably time to put a new cable on before that breaks. I do have another cable. It's always a good idea to have a spare cable. Just got to run it through. That'll probably be a project here in the near future. But what I'm going to be working on, next is cutting this out and drilling some holes in it. Like I pointed out that the return line for my oil salvage pump is really small, where it goes into the fuel pump location. Buddy was kind enough to give me this, I think it's a 1/2 inch thick aluminum. Hoping to be able to cut it out, drill some holes, and tap a bigger pipe threading in it. Maybe I'll show you guys that when I get to working on it. Well, that's probably it for today. It's a Sunday afternoon. As you can see, the hair isn't done. It's kind of a lazy day out here, kind of playing around in the garage, and I think one thing I'm going to have to take care of is cleaning my mess up. I'm still working on the intake manifolds. I won't really be able to tell much about the accelerator and the accelerator cable until I get the intake manifolds back on and start the car up and see how it works. I was kind of hoping to run the original stock wheel. I still have it sitting here, but it's a little bit bigger in diameter than that small wheel I got on there, and we'll see how that one goes. If not, I may have to try to figure out how to make this one work. Really won't know probably until the spring, until the snow is gone and the salt is off the roads and got insurance back on the car and start taking it for a spin. But it does look like I am getting full throttle now. I don't think last year and the year before I was getting 100% full throttle. I think one of the issues I was fighting with was the throw on the accelerator cable. I think the accelerator cable I was trying to get as close to full throttle as I can, which was kind of stretching the limit, which was kind of, when the car would heat up, would hold the throttle open a little bit more, and that's why I was experiencing the high idle. But yeah, we'll hope for warmer weather. We'll hope my buddy gets the intake manifolds done so I can get the car running again. And until then, keep the flat side down and the shiny side up. Y'all take care.